Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Drago and welcome back to my Bloodborne Platinum Trophy Guide. In today's episode we're continuing with Chalice Dungeons, and as you know, in the last episode we went through the Lower Thumeru dungeon. In today's episode it's going to be Ailing Loran, which is the Depth 4 Chalice dungeon, so it's going to be a little bit tougher than the Lower Thumeru. But don't worry, I'm gonna show you how to beat all the bosses and pick up a couple of items that will be necessary to create the Defiled Chalice. And another item that I will show you guys will be the Beastclaw, which is one of the weapons necessary for the Platinum Trophy. Now, the Beast Possessed Soul is an enemy that you've already encountered earlier on. It was one of the enemies in Thumeru dungeon. So, as with the previous fight, if you have fire paper, it's pretty useful since most beasts are weak against fire. Also, any kind of serrated weapon such as a saw cleaver or saw spear will be very useful. Once this boss starts attacking you with a combo, just dodge to your right. You should be able to sidestep its attacks. And playing kind of sloppy right now, but I think you guys get the point. Make sure you dodge the fireballs. If you can close the distance when this boss does his fire attack, it's a good time to counter attack. And I'm playing on my arcane build right now, so I got the fire saw cleaver, which is probably the best weapon to combat this boss with. And there we go. Boss number 1 is down. Now, the second item, well, I should say the first item of interest takes you can find right after the boss battle with the Beast Possessed Soul. It's going to be the Beastclaw weapon, and I'll go ahead and put it on right now so you can see how it looks. I've already picked it up, but I'll show you guys where to get it as well. As soon as you hit layer 2 of the Ailing Loran Chalice, and that's right after the Battle of the Beast Possessed Soul, just go ahead and open the door on the right side before the first lantern of the area. And you will see this little cavern filled with rats. You want to take out the rats here and just proceed down this hallway. Once you arrive in the circular area, go ahead and take the ladder to your left. And from here on, there will be only one way to go. Just go ahead and walk across the bridge. There will be a little treasure room up ahead here. You'll pick up some ritual blood and the cold blood flower bulbs from the chest around it. And in the middle chest, you will find Beastclaw. And this casket is guarded by the Loran Silver Beast. Those enemies are extremely vulnerable to any kind of fire attacks. So if you have either a fire weapon or fire paper, that's probably the easiest way to deal with them. And this should give you Beastclaw. It's the only weapon that is required to be retrieved from the Chalice dungeon. So once you get that, the only weapon that you should have left is the Burial Blade. Alright, and now the second boss of the Ailing Loran Chalice dungeon is the Bloodstart Beast. You fight him in a pretty nasty environment, so I highly recommend having antidote handy, as well as any kind of rune or armor that helps with a slow poison resistance. And as usual, make sure that you have fire paper or any sort of fire weapon handy, simply because you don't want to be poisoned by him. And also try to stay to his right, to your right, just dash to your right, and you should be able to dodge his attacks very comfortably. And as you can see, if you kind of just sidestep into your right, you shouldn't even get hit by him. If he gets away from you, just try to close in distance on him as soon as possible. Because really the only way he can hurt you is if you get caught up in one of his combos. And there he goes. Alright, now the next thing to pick up in Ailing Loran Chalice Dungeon is all the way towards the end of Layer 3. After you open up the gate leading up to the boss fight, open the door, but before you go to fight the final boss, make sure you open up this little doorway on the left, and this will lead you to a few chests with the Bastards of Loran, and also the Bloomin' Cold Blood flowers. And those are Chalice dungeon materials. You'll need the Bastards of Loran to create the Defiled Chalice. So you have to go to Ailing Loran Chalice first before you do the Defiled Chalice. Now there's a pretty easy way to get to the Bastards of Loran. Once you clear out the enemies along the way here, make your way down this spiral staircase. There will be a door over here, kind of opposite from where you came down. And in this chest in the middle of the room, now make sure that you clear out the enemies in this room first, but here you'll be able to pick up 2 Bastards of Loran. And that's not it yet. There's also, if you cross this bridge here, there will be a treasure room with a couple of more Bastards of Loran. I believe you need 3 of them in order to create the Defiled Chalice. So you have to pick up these as well. And there are a number of chests here. Some have the Bloomin' Cold Blood flower. And if you're always looking for an easy way to acquire Bastards of Loran or the Bloomin' Cold Blood flowers, this is probably the best area to get them, because after a while you should be able to get through the enemies here quite easily. So hitting layer 3 should not be a problem, and you can always find these items here. Now, hope this helps. Now we've acquired 4 Bastards of Loran, and now it's time to fight the boss of the Ailing Loran Chalice Dungeon. Alright, and now we're at the gates to the final boss of Ailing Loran Chalice Dungeon. It's going to be Abhorrent Beast. It's one of the tougher bosses in Bloodborne, so I recommend the easiest way to beat him is by exploiting his phenomenally low poison resistance. So make sure you stacked up on poison knives. I recommend having 20 of them handy. Also, since he does have some bolt damage capabilities, Henrik's armor, if you've acquired it along the way, might become in handy. So let's go ahead and go in. The easiest way, like I said before, is to just keep poisoning him over and over. As you can see, as soon as the poison knife hits, his health will start going down. And you can kind of make the process go by a little bit faster by throwing some Molotov cocktails at him. He is pretty weak against fire as well. And just keep backing up. His health will continue going down. And anytime you notice his health stops going down, just throwing out that poison knife at him. It does do pretty good damage with his combos. But if you just keep backing up and waiting for him to attack before you either heal or throw another poison knife at him, you shouldn't get hit at all. I kind of screwed that one up here. But yeah, usually if he sees you heal, he'll try to close distance as soon as possible. So I recommend before you throw a knife or a Molotov cocktail, just wait for him to go into attack animation. And even though it's a bit of a cheesy way to beat him, I guess, it's still the safest, and you can do it at any blood level. Basically, you can. I mean, if you can get to him, you should be able to beat him just by dodging him and throwing poison knives. If you have oil urns, they're pretty good to use here as well because they double the damage of any fire attacks. I can see I got some executioner gloves that I'm using to expedite the process a little bit. It takes a while to just poison him to death, but as I said before, it is the most efficient way. Once his health hits about below halfway point, basically, he'll start getting a little bit more aggressive, so watch out for his jumping slams. And he'll also have this sort of a force push attack that he'll try to do at medium range, so watch out for that as well. Just keep dodging backwards as soon as you see him try to close the distance. And keep an eye out on your stamina as well. And you can see right here, sometimes he'll get you with that jump attack if you're not careful. And here's the force push attack that I was telling you about. Hits for a lot of damage, so as soon as you see him going in that attack animation, just dodge twice backwards and you should get yourself out of its range. I think it takes about 14 poison knife hits to take down his health all the way. So if you have throwing knives, Molotov cocktails, or any kind of arcane attacks, or any other ranged option, if you're a blood tinge build, just keep shooting at him too. That helps to make this go by a little bit faster. And I should mention that you don't need to beat this boss in order to get the Platinum Trophy, since you only need to get this chalice in order to acquire the lower, in order to acquire the Bastards of Loran. And beating him will give you a lower Loran chalice, but you don't actually need to beat him in order to get the Platinum. So if he's giving you a lot of problems, just back out once you acquire the Bastards of Loran. You don't actually need to complete him, but it does feel pretty good to whoop his ass or poison him, whichever way you decide to go about this fight. And there he goes. So now we've completed the Ailing Loran Chalice. We've acquired Bastards of Loran, and we've picked up the Beastclaw. So next up, we're gonna go into the Defiled Chalice. I'm sure you guys have found out about it firsthand already. If you done that chalice before, it is pretty challenging, but I'll show you guys the best way to go about it. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.